We are
Oh my
live in the
God.
in the Magic
Yeah.
Halloween party. Woo! I am. You would have been one of those people like that. You could have been like, at the side of a house, and you come out and like make that wah sound.
So when my kids were younger, we would go to the haunted houses. We had these haunted houses here, and I
Yeah,
was just like always intrigued by like, man, I wish I would have had time that I could actually participate in one of those because
yeah.
people would dress up and they're dressed up as ghouls and ghosts and like Freddy Krueger. And I was like, I always got into that because I was like, man, that is so much fucking fun. You know, Halloween is one of my holidays because Tori's like, you watch these movies. It's like one of my favorite times of the year because all the movies switch to gore.
Spooky gore. Yeah, thrillers.
Yeah. And it's something
Yeah,
about that that I enjoy. I really enjoy it.
me too.
Oh, that is good.
Is it
Wow.
good? Look what. So
Yeah.
I'm having. I don't know if you remember, but you and Tori actually got me these for my birthday. It
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
"Drink up, witches."
Yes. How adorable.
I think that'll make me a better cook tonight.
Yes.
This
I'm
will.
having the last word. Yeah.
That's what it's called.
It's called the last word.
Oh, that's good.
So for Halloween, the last word. The
The
last thing you'll
last
hear is
word.
my voice.
So, John,
Yes.
we are cooking tonight.
Yes.
I'm so excited. And we're going to show people, well, you're going to show me too. We're going to show people what to do. And do we want to tell them now about the prizes or do we
Yeah.
want to wait to
Yeah.
tell?
I'll
Yeah,
tell
I
them
think
that.
we should.
Yeah.
I think you should tell them now.
So we're gonna have the best, the most creative, and the scariest apple.
Apples.
And yes, caramel apple that's developed from whoever's out here working with us. And what they will receive, if I can turn this off, my son was fixing tea. But what they
Oh.
will receive is a Soul Shine Sunday with me on my Sunday Soul Shine event that happens on Zoom. There'll be my special guest for this class, this meditation, and the date will be November 1st. I'll be up at Orcas Island doing a special event there. So I am looking forward to sharing with each adorable person. And uh, I developed that because after I got into Access, I wanted to combine some of the tools from Access Consciousness with my meditation.
Mm-hmm.
They're separate, but it's just like we'll have a dialogue about what we're going to talk about. And then we'll do meditation to just pull energy. So it's a practice of pulling energy and changing yourself and the planet and the Earth and the universe at the same time. So
And I've had the pleasure of being on one of these, and it was incredible. So thank you so much for gifting that to everyone. And so here's the question: if some people maybe they couldn't get on tonight, they're
yeah,
going to do their apples tomorrow morning. Do they have a couple days to kind of post
yeah.
about
We
it?
don't. It's not until the 7th. So let's say
Okay.
that we could decide. We'll give what till Monday or Tuesday next week.
Yeah, I like that. Let's
Monday.
give it till
Let's do
Monday.
Tuesday.
Monday.
Monday.
Okay,
Monday. Okay.
Tuesday.
So Monday.
Okay.
Whichever is easy. So, but I want people to just try this out, try making apples, and I would love to have you on board. So this is a way of inviting people to a different space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, right before I wanted to talk a little bit about before we get started, or maybe we could get started and do it while we're doing it.
Yes.
But I would love to actually hear you talk about because you actually have this for a show, Orgasmic Conscious Cooking.
Yeah. Yes. So
Yeah.
what happened was there was a retreat or a beauty, I am beauty event that happened in Victoria, not
Vancouver?
Victoria, Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all came together, and Molly Mendelberg from Access, she's a person participant in Access Consciousness, said to me, I was cooking dinner every day pretty much for everybody. And she said, you should really do something with this. And she was at my home one time, and I for every bars class, I prepare lunch for my participants. So that's something different than for my bars class and the other people that do
Yeah.
bars. Most people go to lunch. I have the people build community and break bread together, and I cook something that I love.
Oh,
And
nice.
being married to Tori, when she first met me, she was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, you have an orgasm? And she said, yes, your food is so orgasmic. So I took two things that I love, consciousness, and what I do is we have conversations around different events, different things that come up around consciousness. And I decided, what would it be like to combine these two? So I
Yeah.
started out about a year ago, and it just has been taking off. And I don't do as many as I'm going to. I'm going to start doing more events like this. And what it is for me is a chance to do two things I love: to, to mingle and connect with someone, explore different things that I cook, and actually have conversations around consciousness. And it can be anything from protest, about what protest is. And it doesn't have to be, it's consciousness is this whole concept of being allowance for everything and not just a damn thing. So I like that a lot. So I have people, we're going to talk about, we have people that, I've had some people on there that talked about being a dancer. I've had people on there. I have a person coming on. I'm doing an episode this weekend where I have an old client that was selling drugs, and he was a gang member that has his own business now. And he's actually
Wow.
buy it. Nobody knows this yet, but I have some T-shirts coming out around my being you, John Ashford. It's gonna be some dope ass T-shirts that are being made that I'm gonna start selling. It's like, It's well, I'm not. I'm gonna let people sit. So I'm surprised people. So he's gonna come over. We're gonna talk about the T-shirts. We're gonna talk about his business. We'll talk about how he got where he was. He talk about how I was different as a probation officer in 1990 when I first met him, and what that did for him and what that created. So. Uh, yeah, and so we're gonna be in the kitchen on Saturday. I don't know what I'm gonna cook
Ah,
yet, but we'll have some fun.
so cool. So we'll have to put links later. I'll go in and I'll put some links to your YouTube channel. And I'm so grateful that you said yes to coming on here today and cooking with all of us.
Thank you. I love it. I
I
feel
love
better
it
than
too. All right, shall we start?
Let's get going. Okay.
Okay,
So
you the boss. Tell us what to do.
so this is it. So there's pretty much three ingredients in this recipe. You have a 2/3 cup of corn syrup, a cup of sugar,
Yeah.
and a cup and a half of cream.
Mm.
Okay. It's an 8 teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of vanilla that goes in at the very end. Okay.
Okay.
So the way this is going to work, we're going to first work and make and create the caramel. And what's the secret of caramel is this: you're actually burning sugar, but you're controlling the burn so it doesn't scorch. So the piece about it is that you have to actually stir it. You don't stir
Okay.
it, it will actually scorch and won't taste as delicious as it possibly can. And
What's
what
your
you do is you put
what's your
that.
recommended stirring tool?
So I learned that you can use a rubber spatula if it can withstand the heat, because you're going to get the caramel up to about 350.
Mm. So
Okay.
you okay. So you're
And
thinking
so
wood.
you're going to boil it because you have to get to the point that it caramelizes. And it's about 320 to 350 is where it caramelizes. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, but here's the secret behind it. When you pour the corn syrup in and you put the sugar in, what's going to happen is, something I probably need to cool this off. 1 second. Hold on. Oh, oh,
Oh. Hi, Karen.
okay. So that got a bit hot, so I wanted to cool that down at first. So, because I left that on while we are talking. So, what you want to do is, the reason I want to do it, I don't want this that hot, because once you put sugar in, it immediately starts to change chemical, and the chemicals break up and they start to solidify because there's no
Oh.
water in here. So, what I'm going to do is put sugar and corn syrup in here. I'm gonna let this cool off for a bit, and in the process of adding the cream, you put the cream in 3 parts. So you
Oh.
break down a cup and a half in 3 parts, because what happens is that it's going to start to caramelize once you put all the ingredients together. And then what you're going to do again is let it get to a certain temperature, 320. And then when it goes back down to about 350, you add the cream again. And the final time you add the cream, and once it goes back up to 350, you take it off the heat. and you add the vanilla and the salt, and you have caramel. And this
Oh,
is it. So here's
it's
the other piece.
exciting.
So here's the other piece. Hopefully you put your apples in the refrigerator. If you don't have it, I would suggest you put the apples in the refrigerator now.
I
Because,
did. They were chilling the whole time until right now. I took them out.
you can actually leave them in the fridge. I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell
The
me.
colder the apples, the quicker the process goes. The apples will actually, the caramel will stick to the apples immediately because you're gonna take this cold apple and put it in this hot caramel, and you're gonna stir it, push the caramel around the apple, and it's gonna solidify. And then you can stick it in peanuts, M&Ms, whatever you want to use to make it more sexy.
Yeah.
Ready to get busy?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Karen says she used to make tonkatsu chicken only when she was angry because she got to pound the chicken into cutlets. And the kids knew she was mad about it.
Why did she pound the chicken?
Because she took all her anger out, I think.
Ah, I got
the
it.
cutlets. Isn't that how you tenderize? Isn't that how you tenderize it?
But well, a lot of times chicken today, unless it's I guess you could do that. But a lot of times I think that you don't have to worry about doing that as much anymore because the chickens are usually not very old. And I usually use organic chicken. And the process of using organic chicken, I'm getting a better quality of chicken, so I don't need to pound it. Unless it's chicken breast, I'm trying to make a certain dish that calls for a thinner piece of meat.
Okay.
So I have my corn syrup and sugar in here boiling together. And I'm stirring that up. And it's going to, in the beginning, it's going to look just white. And I'll show you pictures. I'll move the pot so you can see the picture of the caramel as it starts to caramelize. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put more cream in there. Make sure I have there. So I'm going to put a third of that in there right now. And we'll turn this heat up. And what you want to do is actually make sure that the sugar, the corn syrup, and the cream is actually combined. And it has going to have a tendency at the beginning to separate, but that's when you stir it. And as the heat increases, it's going to start to combine together, and it's going to start to turn brown as the sugar starts to burn.
Ooh.
And
that's why it has that
color. So here's the secret for people: if you barbecue, that's why you never want to put barbecue sauce on any meat when you first put it on the grill, because the sugar in the barbecue sauce will begin to caramelize and burn your meat.
Oh.
So at the very end, you put barbecue sauce on barbecue at the very end because you're not looking for the caramelization until the very, very end.
Okay.
Crazy.
You have so much knowledge.
And I love doing it. So, and part of this is that, I mean, I tell people this story all the time. The reason I started to cook was actually because my mom, I told my mom when I was a kid that cooking was for women. And she actually kind of snatched me and made me come into the kitchen. And she forced me to start to learn how to cook. Because when I told her that it was for women, she said, "What if you don't get married at a young age? Who's going to feed you?" And I was like, "I don't know, you would." And my mom's like, "You're not going to be living with us." And so, and little did I not know that I moved out at 12 to go to the seminary. So she was right. So if I would have waited for my mom or some woman to cook for me, I'd have been, well, I'd probably be skinny. That's a judgment there, huh? Just a tad bit.
Well, I'm so glad that she chose that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always looking at involving my kids in cooking, not from like a chore or I have to, but from like the fun and the joy of it.
Yeah. Because what happens is that so it turned to the point that my mom had me start to learn how to cook like basic things like eggs, bacon, pancakes. And then when they would leave the house, my brother and I were together. Then she said, you're responsible for cooking the meal for your brother and you. And I'm like, what? And so I started to learn. So then when my mom left, I took this out. So I have this cookbook that I've had probably for like 20 something years. I have a bunch of cookbooks on the shelf over there. And I have probably, this is just part of my cookbooks because I've been entrenched in learning how to cook and loving how to cook, that I don't throw cookbooks away. So I have some cookbooks that have old recipes, and I have cookbooks from different around the world. And I brag because I tell Tori, and she loves eating my cooking, I believe. I tell Tori that if you show me a place on the planet Earth, I will be able to learn how to cook it. Just give me a day. So we've gone to different restaurants of different ethnic restaurants, and I actually start to cook those meals when we get home. And she's like, how in the hell do you do this? I'm like, I don't know. I just, I've been cooking for so long. When I worked for Club Med for a while, which is this resort, and my roommate was like the head chef when I first got hired, and I would get off of work because I was a DJ. I would get off of work like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was already busy making croissants or the bread for the next day. And I would actually go in the kitchen and I would just sit down, have some coffee or have a cocktail probably. Then those days I think I was drinking a little bit, but not much, just a little, just a tad bit.
Just a tad.
So here's the other piece with caramel. And when you cook caramel with kids, you want to be very, very, very careful because if the caramel lands on your skin, it's going to stick.
Oh, no.
And what you want to do if that happens is use cold water because it will dissolve the sugar and it'll actually but there is a body process. Well, can I talk about body process?
I think so. Do it.
Okay. So there's a body process that whenever you cut yourself, oh my God, I can't remember it. What is it?
Serosoma tremor?
What's that?
Well, we probably shouldn't give away the body processes.
Okay. So I won't do that. Okay.
We can talk about the magic.
The magic. So there are ways, or here's the piece. Okay, you don't have to use body process. You can actually focus on that burn and talk to that burn. And possibly that energy of talking to that burn will change the pain. There's a possibility there.
Yeah.
But you can always use cold water.
You can use both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
no burning myself today.
Yes, no burning. Absolutely. That's not fun.
I feel like this is a good recipe for me because I can stir pretty good.
Yes. So what's your favorite thing to cook?
I can only cook 2 things.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm not good at cooking at all. But I can cook a pretty good coconut curry dish, like red curry, and a pretty good spinach omelet. That's it.
Wow.
But it's okay because I got dinner and breakfast, and then people think, wow, she can cook. And I'm like, just don't come over again because we'll have the same thing.
How's it get better than that?
Yeah. But I've actually been re-inspired. Like, so since being home, you know how much travel I used to do. So being here, I've kind of like sunk into living a little bit and like, I don't actually want just the quick foods, and I don't, like throwing stuff together. Even going to the grocery store before, I would just like throw stuff in the house. I'm in there for a week and I'm out again anyways.
Right.
Now I'm actually like meal planning and cooking, and I'm re-inspired to cook again. So that's been really exciting.
Oh my. So, one of the things about what happened with us with this pandemic, this COVID stuff, is that I've been forced to cook more often. And I used to cook, and then Tori's turn to cook, we would go to a restaurant. Well, for a while there were no restaurants open. So I was like, hey, I'm getting stuck here doing all the cooking. And he was so happy when the restaurants opened because it allowed us to be able to give me a break. But what what I started to recognize is that, man, I really appreciate my cooking more and the creativity that I come up with for my cooking more than anything.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maria says she only knows how to make quesadillas and tortilla and cheese. She's in Mexico. Well, this is what we're teaching you something new today.
Yeah.
After this, you'll be able to say, and you're going to add caramel apples.
And for me, cooking is just like such a pleasure. So when I cook, like, and I like cooking for groups. Like when we were at the I am beauty class up in Canada in Vancouver.
Yeah, that was so cool.
It's something for me to watch people eat food. There's a connection, and when I say, and the first when I came up with the idea of orgasmic conscious cooking, I was like, well, people don't think it's sexual, but eating food is very energetic and sexual.
Yeah, it really can't. Go ahead.
And it takes you to another place if you will allow it to yourself to go there. But
yeah, I remember. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Say, remember what?
Well, I was going to say so I used to kind of do like a little bit of bodybuilding, and I was like obsessed with just getting like muscles and stuff. So I was treating food kind of like it was just sustenance. Like just I needed to get like the least amount of calories, the greatest amount of protein, like like it was just, and I would eat, and I was like, there's no point. I don't need to put sauce on. I don't need to. It was really taking all the joy out of eating.
Right.
And so I did that for a long time. And I remember being in an Access class. So John and I both played with the tools of Access consciousness, and it was an ESB class. And I went out and had food. and I think it was like sushi. Like it wasn't even that extravagant. And I was like, oh my God. Like I was like tasting food. Like as if it was my first time tasting food ever. And I was like, this is a whole different experience than just eating. Like I just need sustenance for my body, you know? Like receiving like every flavor. It can be that totally orgasmic experience.
Yeah. And it's the process of being present with stuff. And when I'm cooking, a lot of times when I'm coming up with a new recipe, I don't really talk much. And Tori asked me about that once before. She said, you don't say too much when you're doing your cooking. I'm like, yeah, I'm in my own world. I actually create another whole different space.
Maria says, I'll be able to cook 2 things and an appetizer and dessert. Perfect. That's all you need.
What's that?
Maria said she's agreeing now. She's going to have this inner toolbox of recipes she can cook. See, you guys, John hasn't started this yet, but he's going to open up a Facebook group and there's going to be cooking and stuff. I'm just teaser alert. It's happening.
It's going to happen soon.
And then we can learn to cook all kinds of things.
If you desire.
Yeah. I also love being cooked for.
Oh, that is very, it takes it to another phase for me to cook for people. And I like doing that because it introduces them or invites them to another space.
Yeah.
It's something romantic, energetically for me with that it's just like, you know, there was once a movie called something chocolate something. I can't remember. It was a European movie that talked about chocolate, where Julia Roberts, I think, was in it.
Yeah, I watched that. Oh, what's it called? Keep going. Yep.
And what happened for me with that is that I was like, oh my God, this is so inviting. You know, it's like I like really good food. And you can tell the energy of the food once it happens. So what I'm gonna do, I want people to see this. I'm gonna grab this camera real quick.
Yeah.
hopefully without dropping this. Okay. I am going to let you guys see, where is my camera? Okay. I hope, can you see the caramel layer cooking?
Yep. Yep.
That's what it looks like. So you can add your cream, your second round of cream to that right now if it's golden in color. Because it's almost done.
Oh, it's so good.
Almost done. And what happens is once you look, you add the liquid when it's about 290, and it drops it back down. And then once it gets to 320, you actually can start working with it. With the apples.
Yay. Twilla's saying yummy. She's here with us.
Hey, Twy. And so the other thing that I do during the holidays, like for the holidays, what Tori and I usually do, I usually buy gifts for people. But now what I do is I cook cookies for people and I send them during the holidays.
I've got some of those cookies. So good.
And once before I was like, why am I going to buy something for somebody where I can actually share the love that I have for them in my cooking? And that's the other thing that is important to me about cooking, sharing the love about what I do.
Mm.
And what does that create for everybody? And my mom was so good at that.
Oh.
Recently, I went back home, and I'll share this. My mom has late stages of dementia now, and so when I was home last time, I was cooking for her, and it's kind of interesting to be able to bring the orgasmic ability of cooking to somebody who perhaps has forgotten everything. And when she eats my food, I look at her face, and she has this ability of like, oh my God, I remember this. And so for me, it's very energetic and magical to be able to offer that back to somebody who showed you how to do this in the beginning.
Wow.
Without any judgment. That's just where she is right now.
Yeah. What was your favorite, like when you were a kid, what was your favorite thing that she would cook you?
Well, she made me, when I was little, she made all of my dessert, like my birthday cakes. And one time I had a group of friends over, and there was this place called Baskin Robbins 31 flavor ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
She would buy this lemon custard ice cream. She would make me a lemon pie, and for my birthday, she made me a lemon ice cream pie, and my friends just lost their freaking mind because they never had that, and especially from somebody's home. And my mom did it. I could tell she was so proud because she made the crust out of cookie dough. She cooked the cookie dough. She froze it for a while. She put the lemon on there. She put the icing on top of it. She put lemons on top of it. And I was just like giddy. And I was like, every time she would ask me, what do you want? She's like, in the beginning was that pie. And then it became the point where she would make a caramel cake for me. And that was simply divine. The caramel cake, oh my God. That caramel cake. She would actually make this caramel and add more cream to it at the very end. And so that caramel would go over the cake, a vanilla cake, and then she put pecans on it. And I was like, oh my God, how's it get better than this?
So people could use this for more than just apples.
Yes. So what you can do with this at the very end, so if we weren't making caramel apples today, what you would do is you would take a glass dish, butter the dish, and what you can do is put pecans in the dish or any nut that you desire, and pour the caramel over the nuts and let it harden, or it's going to solidify. It's not going to harden. Solidify, and you can cut it in squares, and you have caramel pecan squares.
Oh, so good. And, Cass Hepburn says, this sounds amazing. Next class with John, lemon ice cream cake, please.
Yeah, for sure. I would love to do that.
And Alicia says she can taste it.
So I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see this? I'm gonna let this caramel like drizzle.
Oh, mine's
So
still kind of not so brown. Mine's a little bit white. I'm not gonna lie.
so let me ask you this: Do you have do you have it on medium high?
It's pretty high. Yeah.
Okay, is it bubbling?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want it to continue to bubble because I have to keep an eye on this because once this gets to about 318, 320, I take this off and so here's the piece about caramel. You have a short window to work with it because it hardens after a while and you can't work with it.
Okay.
So there is a short period of time after it's done. That's to come on with the apples to be cold because you're going to dip the apples, put them in nuts, put them on the tray. Dip the apples because after a certain amount of time, you're not going to be able to work with the caramel because it's going to do what caramel does. It's going to solidify.
Yeah.
And what happens is the butter fat from the cream is what creates the gluten or the glue-like material in caramel. It's the breaking down of the corn syrup and the sugar and the fat in the cream that creates the caramel. But the secret of it is getting it to the temperature of 320 degrees. So
you have already taught me so much.
If you allow it to go to 350, you're going to have hard caramel candy. You're going to have butterscotch chips, pretty much.
Okay.
So it won't be a waste. It's just going to be like, oh my God. Now, the hard thing about it is that if you allow it to go past 320, that's why I'm keeping my eye on this, you won't be able to bite through your apple. You have to cut it in half in pieces, and the caramel's going to come off because it'll be too hard.
Right. Okay. All right. This is awesome. Karen says, I would make Chinese dishes for my mom. Ask her if she remembers making it herself. And when she did, I would be excited. My mom used to make her own soy milk and tofu before it was available in stores. Karen, that's awesome.
Wow. Oh, she made her own tofu milk?
Tofu, soy milk and tofu. Like I think firm tofu. Yeah.
That would be impressive. Hold on, let me get this stuff.
Yeah, that is impressive.
So I'm gonna show you a trick that's not in the book, but this is what I learned from my mom. So what I created is a bowl of cold water. Okay.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test to see if the caramel is actually starting to caramelize. If I drop the caramel in the water, it's gonna solidify and I should be able to pick it up.
Ooh, I want to see.
We're at 2:48, so we got a little more time. And so I did this for my kids the entire time. It was like for Halloween, because for a while in the States, it wasn't safe because people were doing some crazy ass shit here, like putting poison in candy and stuff. So I'd have my kids over with some of their friends and we make caramel apples. And I'll fix some type of things like stupid hot dogs or anything like that. And we had our own party at home. But what was pretty cool is my kids were like, well, we make caramel apples, and all their friends want to come out because who doesn't like a caramel apple?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's so cool.
So when you were little, is it anything that you remember around? Did you celebrate Halloween a lot?
Yeah, my mom, she can make like any costume. So she would make us, like, we would just tell her what we wanted to dress up like, and she would make, my favorite costume of all time was Batgirl, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like walking in character. Like I was like, so we would go trick-or-treating. Our town was pretty good. There was crazy stuff a little bit, but wasn't too bad where I lived, a smaller town. And yeah, we would have a blast just trick-or-treating and getting way too much candy and staying up too late watching Halloween movies.
What is it about horror movies that I like? I never thought about that. Wait, what is that? It's something there.
Yep. What is it?
It's the power of monsters don't play by the rules.
Oh, yes.
Monsters don't fucking ever play by the rules. And I'm like, I hate playing by the rules. And
Yeah.
sometimes, I almost cheer for the monster because it's like that monster's just different. And for me, I look at it like, what's that monster's point of view that I don't have, or do I have that everybody wish they had? Because what would you rather be? Would you rather be Freddy Krueger or the victim of Freddy Krueger?
Right. I watched all the Freddy Krueger movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, one of my favorites. And I kind of would find myself rooting for him too.
Yeah. It's like, man, everybody, and especially when you found out in one of the series, when they found out how Freddy Krueger was created, he was created because some people in the community created him.
Yeah.
And then people bitched about him being Freddy Krueger. Well, if you didn't like him, you shouldn't have created him.
Yeah. Exactly. This looks so cool. It's kind of mesmerizing. You know how you could stare at a fire and you can kind of like get mesmerized? I'm getting mesmerized. Is it working?
Yeah. So if you could see this, where's my camera? That's
where oh, that's so cool. I don't think mine's there yet. We're getting there.
Really close.
So the salt, the vanilla.
And the vanilla at the very end. So what I'm going to do in a second, I'm going to take this to the side and take it off so it can be on the cool surface. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the salt and the vanilla, and then I'll start with the apples and the pecans and the peanuts. Because in my house, Tori likes peanuts. I like pecans. And what I do, and what happens to help prevent, so I took this parchment paper and I put this parchment paper on a cookie sheet and I sprayed it with coconut oil or any type of vegetable oil. And then what happens is it will prevent the apple from sticking to.
Oh, see, these are good tricks because I also did the parchment, but I didn't know about coconut oil.
Those are some of the shit. They never tell you that shit, but because my mom always showed me, I watched her in the kitchen where she had all these little tricks in the trade. I was like, oh, that's what that's for.
I couldn't find my popsicle sticks, so I used chopsticks. I just broke some chopsticks that I had at home.
So I think Tori, we bought these a long time ago, so she was able to find these popsicle sticks. So.
Oh, nice. I have a bunch somewhere, but I think my kid was using them for a craft.
So I'm ready to get started. So I'm going to
I'm
going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna take about an eighth of caramel. Now I actually put about a fourth of teaspoon of salt because I like that salted caramel. That salted caramel now. So I like a little bit more salt in it. And the salt actually adds a little bit more life to the apple caramel. So I'm gonna take this here. And the last thing that comes out here that wants to be out. So the last thing I will add is some of the vanilla. And I use vanilla bean paste. You can use vanilla extract, whatever gets your fancy.
What's vanilla bean paste? I've never heard of this.
It's actually from England or Canada.
Oh.
It's here. Let me see.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little bit more thicker. It's heavier flavor of vanilla.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know if anybody else has had the experience of using it. I love it. So I'll grab some apples. So what I've done, I washed the apples prior because I don't know what people did with their hands before. So what I will do, look over here.
Oh, there's also powdered vanilla, says Karen.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, I'm like a total newbie learning so many things today. I ended up getting like this organic stuff because this looks good.
Oh yeah, I usually so one of the things that I am cooking, I really prefer organic materials or organic foods. I say materials like you're not gonna eat it, but I love it. So this is what it looks like, guys. So what happens? So what I do,
Oh, that's so good.
and so what I'll do, I don't want the caramel. Some of the caramel just comes off by just turning it. And what happens is because the apple's cold in the center, it's hardening it from the inside out. So what I will do is coming off the apple.
Wow.
And last but not least, and what I'll do is I dip it in peanuts. So it has this like and this becomes a buffer between the paper. So I just put that here. And apple number one's done.
Woo.
Apple number two. Bro.
John, do you usually listen to music when you cook?
Yeah, I used to listen to music, or I listen to sometimes I listen to like sometimes I listen to classes that I have recorded. But it helps. But mostly it's just more of a distraction because I'm really not listening to it that much. When I'm cooking, I'm really, really engaged with being in that creative space.
Mm.
Really, really, and I never because when Tori used to be downstairs when I cook all the time, and most recently she leaves and she said, you know, I'm a distraction for you. I'm gonna go upstairs and watch TV because you're not present at all because I don't listen to anybody when I'm doing that. I'm actually just so this is pecans, and so what I do with pecans, I turn into the pecans, and the pecans stick to the hot caramel, and this is a pecan caramel apple right here. Voila!
Oh my god, that looks so good.
And my last, I have one more. And what's happening is what you'll notice, you actually probably will be able to make three, depends on the size of the apples, 3 to 4 apples. A lot of times I double the recipe when my kids were around and they had their friends. But because Tori and I don't eat that much sugar anymore, I just did these 3 apples. And you just let it run down the side of the apple.
I got like little silly Halloween sprinkles for my kids.
They're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And if the caramel starts to harden too much, you can put it back on the heat and it will soften the caramel. Because a lot of times, like what's beginning to happen with the caramel now, this is really time sensitive kind of a dish because the caramel starts to caramelize and it starts to thicken and it starts to not being friendly, stop being friendly. So you have unfriendly caramel. That's not nice.
That is not nice. Nope. Oh, there we go. I was breaking my stick there.
Yep. Sometimes that happens in the apple, yeah. And what happens is the cold apple actually hardens the caramel, and it's like, oh no, Mr. Bill.
I can't wait to see everyone's creation.
And here's my third apple. Voila.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's like those gourmet ones you see, you'll kind of see them in some kind of shops. That's what yours looks
What
like.
you usually do with that is, what I usually do with that is like, then I'll put them in the fridge, or actually we can let them sit, because remember the core of the apple is cold. It's pretty cold. So it's actually hardening the caramel. Oh my God, look at that.
It's pretty cute, huh?
How's it get better than that?
Yay. It's good. I already tasted it.
Wow.
I think this is really impressive for me.
And especially when you say you only do 2 items.
Yeah.
Now you got 3.
I do.
How's it get better than that?
The kids are going to be like, who are you?
Yeah, they're looking pretty good. That's what, and the bottom, so I'm gonna show you guys what the bottom looks like. So when you sit it down, that's the bottom. And the peanut one is, and it won't stick because the peanuts actually create a barrier to the caramel. So it's sitting directly on the oil. So
that's smart.
I think Tori and Helene are going to enjoy their dessert for dinner tonight.
Yeah. Catherine said, I just got out of yoga and I'm in the car part watching. Wow, she's so impressed and she's so inspired.
And it's really easy. And here's the piece. If you ever get stuck and you try doing this, and you guys get stuck and you're like, John, I need some help, just reach out and hit me up on Messenger. And I usually try to respond. You can also go to my YouTube channel, because I'm actually going to do this tomorrow with my girls on YouTube.
Yeah.
Also. And I think we're just going to actually copy it and then go from there.
Yeah, guys, this was actually way easier than I thought. I was a little scared because this is a little more complex than an omelet. I'm not going to lie. But you made it actually really fun and easy, John. You took like the stress out of it.
Because it's orgasmic. When you actually relax and take a deep breath and enjoy yourself, it's not a task, it's fun.
Yeah. So what if cooking
better than that?
Fun?
Life should be fun. Especially with what, how many people make life more difficult than it has to be? I know I used to do that for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember when and sometimes I still do that when I'm trying to be perfect with things. What I've come to find with a lot of recipes, when you let go of being perfect, you actually create something. You actually create something a lot more orgasmic, because the energy changes with what you cook.
Oh, that's a really good point, because I think part of one of the reasons I stopped kind of cooking is because I had that perfection, and I had a partner that kind of demanded perfection in cooking, and I was like, meh, I'm done.
Yeah.
But just the fun of like,
yeah, how many places does that happen in people's lives? I mean, like Tori. So here's the piece. Tori and I have an agreement. I love doing this. So get out the way and let me have fun and be creative.
Let me have fun.
This week I came up with a new recipe. So Tori finds recipes and I cook the recipes.
That's fun. That's a fun game.
Yeah. So we did something because we're trying to stay off of dairy, even though it's hard to make caramel without dairy, but you can make caramel with coconut cream. But
Oh,
that's a whole nother process, but you can make it with that. But we didn't do that for this
I
recipe.
wasn't
But
ready for that today.
yeah,
No.
no, I wanted this is the first step. Then I might do that later, show people how to use coconut milk, coconut cream, or condensed. It's actually called condensed coconut milk.
Okay,
But
yeah, yeah.
but I made this broccoli cheese soup that was
Ooh.
vegan.
Oh, this sounds like amazing.
When the next time we get together, I will make this for you because I know that you're a vegetarian, so you would love
Yeah,
this.
I
Get
love
this.
it.
It's almonds, cashews that are both those are raw, almond milk, nutritional yeast, vegetable broth, onions, and garlic, and bell pepper, red bell pepper.
That's it?
Yep.
Wow, that sounds so
It's
good.
crazy. And then you cook the. Oh my God! Look at that!
That's pretty cute.
Oh my God! How's it get better than that?
Wow. So that's soup. Okay. See, this is why you need it. This is why we need to do a lot more of these so that you could make me a good
Yeah,
cook.
yeah. I would do this anytime. Maybe we have next holiday is Thanksgiving or not
Christmas.
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah,
Thanksgiving for you guys. Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know where I'm going to be for Thanksgiving, but Christmas I'll be interested in doing something.
Christmas.
Yeah,
We're going to do something for Christmas.
yeah. That would be fun. We can think
Yeah.
about something to create for Christmas stuff. Like
Okay.
some people make like gingerbread men or gingerbread houses and stuff like that. That would be something cool. But what I don't like is that usually when people make it, it's gross to eat. I want
I
whatever
can't
I
eat the
make.
cookie. Yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be just scrumptious.
Yeah. Most kids just eat the candy out the top and they're like,
Yeah,
I'm not eating that cookie. It's
cookie. That cookie's
terrible.
gross.
Yeah. Could have yummy cookies.
Yes,
Yeah.
orgasmic cookies for kids.
Orgasmic cookies.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, John. This was
Thank
so
you for
fun.
having me. I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And once again, send pictures to Cassie. So the three most interesting apples will be invited to my Soul Shine Sunday on the 1st of November.
So that's a prize for you guys. So post in the thread. You can post it on your page too. Double entry if you post it on your page and tag John Ashford. But yeah, so post in the group your apples, however they turned out, and we're gonna select. John said he's willing to give three tickets away. So super generous. Yeah, thank you. And you have until Monday. So if you guys are creating this over the weekend, if you need a little time, as you saw, you know what? I didn't light a fire. No one died. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
And I promise you will enjoy this. When you bite into this, you're like, oh my God.
I can't wait.
How's it get better than that? Shit.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Thanks, John. I adore you. I'm so grateful.
Peace. Love you guys.
Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.